Folks, gather around because I'm about to take you on a wild ride through history. We're diving into a time when the world was on the brink, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. Buckle up, because it's World War II in 5 minutes American style. We're talking about a conflict that reshaped the globe and defined a generation. We're talking faster than a New York minute, more action-packed than a Schwarzenegger film. Picture this. Battles raging across continents, heroes emerging from the chaos, and nations rising to the challenge. It all began in 1939, across the pond in Europe. The world was still licking its wounds from the Great War, and yet, the storm clouds were gathering once more. A fella by the name of Adolf Hitler, with a mustache that could rival even mine, decided to throw a global party. But this wasn't your average shindig, and nobody was invited. He sent his German army, the Wehrmacht. They had more tanks than a monster truck rally, crashing into Poland. It was a blitzkrieg, a lightning war, that left the world stunned. Needless to say, Poland wasn't too thrilled about it. Imagine your neighbor borrowing your lawnmower and then just driving it through your living room. The Polish people were caught off guard, but their spirit was unbroken. Britain and France, Poland's buddies, stepped in and said, "Hold on a minute, Adolf." They weren't about to let this aggression go unchecked. This isn't how we play nice in the international sandbox. Diplomatic efforts quickly turned into declarations of war, and the world braced itself for the conflict ahead. And just like that, boom! World War II exploded faster than a deep fryer at a county fair. The stage was set for a global showdown that would test the limits of human endurance and ingenuity. Now in one corner we had the Axis powers. This formidable alliance was composed of 3 major nations, each with its own unique leader and ambitions. Germany, led by the mustachioed maestro himself, Hitler. His vision of a new world order was as terrifying as it was grandiose, and he rallied his nation with fervent speeches and ruthless policies. Joining him were Italy, led by Benito Mussolini, a man who loved his uniforms even more than a marching band conductor. Mussolini dreamed of reviving the glory of the Roman Empire, and his charismatic yet dictatorial style made him a key player in the Axis alliance. And Japan, with Emperor Hirohito, a man who knew a thing or two about ruling an empire. Under his reign, Japan sought to dominate Asia and the Pacific, driven by a fierce military tradition and a desire for expansion. On the other side were the Allies. This coalition of nations came together to stand against the Axis powers and their aggressive expansion. Representing the red, white, and blue, we had the United States, led by the one and only Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a man who knew how to rock a set of pince-nez glasses. Roosevelt's leadership was crucial in mobilizing the American war effort and providing support to the Allies. Then there was Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Great Britain, a man who loved cigars more than a humidor. Churchill's indomitable spirit and stirring speeches inspired the British people to stand firm against the Axis onslaught. And let's not forget good old Joseph Stalin, leader of the Soviet Union, a man who really knew how to hold a grudge. Stalin's Red Army played a pivotal role in turning the tide against the Axis, especially on the Eastern Front, where some of the war's fiercest battles were fought. For a while the United States was like that friend who shows up late to the party trying to avoid the drama. But then, December 7, 1941, happened. Japan, feeling a little too confident, decided to throw a surprise party at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and by surprise party I mean they attacked our naval base. Needless to say, America was not thrilled about this unexpected housewarming gift. It was like finding pineapple on your pizza. Not cool, Japan, not cool. This act of aggression was the final straw. The United States, fueled by righteous anger and a hearty breakfast of freedom pancakes, joined World War II. Section 4 D-Day like a BBQ on the beach, but with more explosions. Fast forward to June 6, 1944. Picture this, the beaches of Normandy, France. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and thousands of Allied troops are storming the beach like they're late for a buffet. This, my friends, was D-Day, the largest seaborne invasion in history. The Allies were like, all right, Germany, party's over, time to pack up your tanks and go home. And after some intense fighting, that's pretty much what happened. The tide was turning and freedom was on the menu. Section 5. Atomic bombs, not the kind you find in comic books. Now it's 1945. The war in Europe is winding down, but things are still heating up in the Pacific. The Allies have managed to push back the Axis powers in Europe, but the conflict with Japan is proving to be a different beast altogether. Japan, bless their hearts, were proving to be tougher than a 3-day-old bagel. Their military was relentless, and their resolve seemed unbreakable. The battles in the Pacific were fierce, with heavy casualties on both sides. After much deliberation, President Truman made the difficult decision to use a new weapon, one that would change the world forever, the atomic bomb. This decision was not made lightly. It came after extensive discussions with his advisors and military leaders. On August 6, 1945, an American B-29 bomber dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan. The explosion was unlike anything the world had ever seen, causing unprecedented destruction and loss of life, followed 3 days later by a second bomb on Nagasaki. The impact was equally devastating, leaving the city in ruins and its people in despair. The devastation was immense, forcing Japan to surrender and bringing an end to World War II. The use of atomic bombs marked a significant turning point in history, showcasing the terrifying power of nuclear weapons and ushering in a new era of warfare and international relations. Section 6. Lessons Learned and Freedom Fries. And so, after 6 long years, the deadliest conflict in human history finally came to an end. The world had learned some hard lessons about the dangers of unchecked aggression, the importance of international cooperation, and why you should never, ever put pineapple on pizza. But most importantly, World War II reminded us of the strength of the human spirit, our capacity for courage in the face of adversity, and the enduring power of hope. And that, my friends, is something worth fighting for.